Yo, what's up guys? We're here with another episode of History of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, and I've lost track of what number this is, but we've just had so many awesome and great players on that it's just been really fun. So I hope you guys have been enjoying it so far, but again, we're really lucky to be with another great player, and I'm happy to be joined by Chris LeBlanc. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Just good.
Yeah, just good.
So yeah, we're just gonna like go through a bit of a timeline. I mean, you're fucking like really young, so there isn't like a lot to talk about. But you've been playing the game for a while.
Yeah.
Tell us about like the start, and well, first of all, I guess just introduce yourself. Tell us what you do, what you study, or that kind of stuff.
Okay, like, outside of Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah, that you're talking about, yeah.
I mean, do you study Yu-Gi-Oh?
Okay, no, yeah. Well, of course, everyone studies Yu-Gi-Oh if you play it, right? So I guess like I'm like studying, like I'm a business major right now, so not too much interesting stuff about my life other than Yu-Gi-Oh.
You have any hobbies outside Yu-Gi-Oh?
I play like Force of Will, Hearthstone, a couple of other card games.
How old are you again?
I'm 19.
Wow, shit, 19 and 1 on YCS. Wow. 23, don't even have fucking like how to tie my shoelaces. But anyway, yeah. So, how did you get into this game? How long have you been playing? Where did you start, etc.?
All right. So I got into the game when I saw a commercial on TV telling me to go to like Toys R Us, and I went to a Toys R Us on a Saturday, and like I just saw a bunch of people like handing like Yu-Gi-Oh cards out and stuff like from the store, and like it was just a big gathering of people. So I started going like every Saturday. I can't even like remember the exact year this was. I want to say it's like 2004 maybe.
Do you remember like the format at all? Wait, 2004. Wait, so you must have been like fucking.
Yeah.
You were just a kid.
I was very young when I started playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to remember the format. It's been a while.
I mean, 2004, like this, if it's literally just the start of Yu-Gi-Oh, then I guess people kind of
Yeah.
familiar with it. It didn't really have a format. It was just like
Yeah, it was
cards.
just cards that were out. They were played if they were out.
Did you stop at all? Have you been playing since, like consistently?
Yeah, pretty consistent.
Wow. Okay. Awesome.
I think the biggest break was like 2000.
Okay, we're just
like,
gonna
10
get
or
onto that,
something.
but I mean, I wanted to talk a little bit, in the lead up to the big break and stuff, because I do have that actually as a
Okay.
topic to talk about. How did you start out? I mean, were you like at a locals or anything, or?
Yeah, so a guy that worked at Toys R Us told me about a locals, so I went to this locals that was like 15 minutes from my house.
All right. Okay. And did you just go regularly, like weekly? And
Yeah, I went like every week. Like that was the like first locals I went to, and like I started going there every week.
I mean, you were so young. Like, did you play like properly? Like, you were doing like proper local tournaments
I
and
definitely
stuff.
played some pretty bad decks back then. I remember playing like Exodia. Like I was really into that deck, and I knew like looking at it now, like obviously I didn't think it's good, but I played like through Exodia through like GOAT format and stuff. So like,
That's
yeah, that was when I was really young. So
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, this is actually a really good question. Which starter deck did you start out with?
the Yugi one.
Oh shit. Okay. That's actually the first Yu-Gi-Oh one we've had. Everyone I've asked this question to started with Kaiba, but all right, we've got some Yu-Gi-Oh up in here. Let's move forward a little bit, I guess. So you've been attending locals regularly, just a regular pleb playing the Exodia deck, trying to FTK people. When did you like realize that hey, this deck's it's not gonna get me really too far? When did you realize that you wanted to play at the region? Well, at least like have some kind of success and play meta essentially and get competitive.
Well, one of my friends that I lived next to, I thought he was really good at Yu-Gi-Oh at the time, and like he would like top regionals and stuff. So I thought that was like really cool, and I wanted to like take the next step. I guess like he was showing me a bunch of stuff, like how to get better, and I guess just like seeing someone like be successful, like it put it in my head that I want to be like this.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. When did you like first attend like regionals or like semi-premier events?
Um, my first event actually was in 2005 at Shonen Jump Boston because it was only like 20 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
But yeah, like going to an SJC before even a regional, like it's pretty weird.
Wow. Okay. So I mean, SJCs. I'm not too familiar with like the back in the day. That's basically YCS back then, right?
Yeah, it's the same exact thing,
Oh, okay.
but like
Cool.
less rounds.
hmm Do you remember what you played?
I played like I guess a Monarch deck. I know I played Treeborn and like Zaborg and stuff.
hmm
So
I mean, were you relatively good like back then? Like, could you like were you
um,
competent enough to like potentially top and
I
stuff?
I don't think I was like as confident like to top because it was like my first event. But I did play someone round two and I beat him and I was his only loss through the whole day and he ended up getting like 10th place. So like that was like such a confidence booster, I guess.
Oh God, ruining people's tiebreakers.
Yeah.
um, right. So let's move forward, I guess, to your proper successes and stuff. Like, it's just kind of up to you what you consider like your first proper success. Like, when was your like first top?
My first top was in 2012 at YCS Province.
There's a huge gap between like when you started and when you first topped. Like,
Oh
what?
yeah, well, I'd say I started like playing competitively though in like 2011 because like I was still like pretty much a kid up until like
Yeah,
that point anyway. So
yeah, of course. Um,
that's when I started traveling.
oh, nice. So it says in Living, I guess you started channeling stuff. What was like your first event then? You could like say that was something that you
I want to
actually
say
prepared for and stuff and was
I want to
relatively
say
good at.
YCS Philly 2011,
Yeah.
like yeah, Chaos Dragon format.
What did you play?
I play Chaos Dragons
hmm
and I definitely tested a lot for that event, like way more than any other event before that.
How did you do?
I lost in the bubble. I started 7-0, and I just played like first like countdown and chain burn, so my
That's
day
really
got
good.
ruined.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
still pretty strong, I guess. For first like major event going in like with a actual good deck, like that's pretty impressive. Um, how did you feel going away from the event? I mean, were you like kind of frustrated, or were you like really happy
Yeah,
and confident with yourself?
I was definitely frustrated, but at the same time, I realized like I just need to try harder next time. So I had that like mentality, just you can do better.
Mm. All right, that's awesome. Um, so tell us about some of your bigger successes and when they first came about and how that felt.
Um, well, my first top was probably like my biggest success. Like right now, I look at because like that was my first win. Um, and like ever since then,
Did you
like every
never
win.
like top before that?
No, my first top was my like first win, so if it's pretty weird.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Um, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the event.
Okay, so it was a special event, YCS Providence. It was I don't I don't know exactly what they called it, but it was an event in like in memory of Dan Green's wife, and they had like all the voice actors there, and they like this was one of the first events that they put it on like a big screen, like the feature match and stuff. So it was pretty cool, like playing the whole event just like on the big screen, and they made it seem like the event was like really special.
Yeah.
And
Um,
then
this was this 2014 or
2012,
for what deck was this? Sorry.
I played Karakuri Giryu.
Right. Okay. Sorry. I'm thinking about your other win. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you played Girya Karakuri. You still must have been really young at the time. Like
yeah, I was only 15.
yeah, 15 years old winning a YCS. I mean, wow. Like, what was it? What was it like after that? I mean, did you get involved with like bigger players and stuff, and develop and branch out other circles and meet new kind of
Um,
pro players sort of thing?
I like my area didn't have like many like pro players, I guess, and I wasn't too big on like talking about stuff online with people, like discussing stuff. So I guess it really just stayed the same, and I like stuck to the same group of people like with testing.
Nice, nice. Do you remember much about the event?
Yeah, I remember like every round I played pretty much.
Oh, really? Do you want to give us
Um,
like a bit of a summary?
yeah, I guess. Um, well, I came into the event like thinking I was gonna play a lot of lineups, so I played zero. My only two losses were Rabbit and Dark Worlds, back to back rounds actually. So I lost rounds 3 and 4, and then I ended up playing like four Rabbit, going like the last 2 rounds of day one, and then uh, the 2 rounds day two. So like that matchup was pretty easy, I guess. So I guess it wasn't like easy, of course. Like getting your first top is never easy, but it felt like it could have been harder, I guess.
Mm. That was a really rough start, though. I mean, losing that early back to back, like, what were you thinking at the
Yeah.
time?
Well, I was thinking like it's just gonna be like any other event I go to. I'm just not gonna top like, but like once I got to day two, I was like, oh, maybe I have a chance now.
And
I
how did
made
you
a
feel on the bubble?
I made a couple mistakes on the bubble actually. My friends were watching me and like made me really nervous. Like
Mm.
um, so yeah, I was definitely nervous, but I guess I pulled through.
How did you feel throughout Top Cut? I mean, you must have been like kind of relieved in like top 32, and then like
Yeah,
slowly, you just kind of like, whoa, I'm still in it, and I'm still
for
going.
sure, for sure. I was relieved. Well, all of Top Cut, I didn't lose. I only lost one game of all of Top Cut actually. It was in top four, and it was the mirror match. The only other person that topped with the deck at that event, and every other match just seemed so easy. It was weird. It was really weird. Like I just felt like unstoppable once I was in Top Cut because I was like, all right, I got my top. Like I'm happy, but I still want to win.
Yeah. I mean, how did you get like when you got to the final? Like, what was that like? Because now it's the realization's kicking in. Like, oh shit, I went from like just scraping in through the bubble, and here I am, like about to take this whole event.
Yeah, I was very nervous, but I had all of my friends because like it was in like Providence, like an hour from my house. So like all my friends in my area like watching, like everyone was cheering me on. So I was like I felt pretty confident too, and I was playing someone that I had played versus like earlier in the weekend, like one of my friends, and it just felt like comforting knowing that like I can beat this person because I've done it before.
Hmm. What was you? Do you think that was like? I mean, you would assume like the final would be your hardest matchup, but what did feel like the hardest like part of the whole
Uh,
event for you?
Definitely top four playing versus the mirror match. Because Jarrell had hyped my opponent up. Andres Torres actually, like he just won Houston this year. I played him back then in top four, and Jarrell was hyping him up, saying he won like Columbia Nationals, and I'm just like, oh, like thanks for making me more nervous. But like he actually knew what he was doing with the deck, and only person to beat me a game in Top Cut, so that's pretty good.
Did you misplay, or did you just kind of like simply just get out grinded
Yeah,
or
no,
whatever?
he actually played a really cool card in his deck. He bottom list my Gear Gear Arsenal, and he made a Levier with two Georgianos and summoned back the Gear Gear Arsenal. So I did not see that coming. I gave him a lot of props for that.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, you ended up taking the whole event, and where did you go from there? What were you thinking for the future? Were you just kind of like, because sometimes a lot of players, what happens is like they'll win a big event and they'll just be like, oh well, I've won an event, and they kind of just stop caring or trying. Like, how did it go for
Oh
you?
yeah, I definitely cared a lot more because I felt like like I guess I have an advantage now because people would be like nervous when they play me or they'll know I'm good, so they'll take me seriously. So I just wanted to keep playing and like take it more serious.
Yeah. Um. So, where did you go from there? Tell us about some of the like notable successes and stuff you've had between then and now.
Um, well, you want me to just like list like my tops wins or
Sure, go ahead. This is this is
uh,
your time to like
all
flaunt,
right.
and flex.
So yeah, so far from then, I have two YCS wins, including Providence, and one Air G 25K win, and then five regular circuit tops and 7 YCS tops and 1 Nats top. So like I know people like to count them differently, so I usually say them differently too.
Mm. What did you? Which one of those sticks out to you the most?
Um, probably the probably Providence. Yeah, like just the first one just feels so good. It's just like no other. It isn't like you never get that feeling again. Like even if you win another one, it's just not the same as the first one.
Even if you win another one, assuming like we'd know that, but you did win another YCS, like, and that was just crazy, like winning like two. Some people will never even like most players won't even like top an event in their life, but here you are, and you win like two YCSs within the space of like 2 or 3 years or something. How did you even like feel when you got to like the final again and like you won and were you just kind of like, oh shit? Does it feel underwhelming, or does it feel like, oh yes, excited, like I've got another win? Or
It was really exciting for me at the time, and what was so crazy about it is I was playing my friend in the finals, so like I played people in the finals of YCS like twice that I knew.
Mhm.
It just feels very weird, but I was so excited at the same time. Like it definitely felt great winning another one, obviously.
Oh, okay. But I guess the first will never compare, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
So we're here now, I guess, and as you've listed them all, you've got a lot of big tops and stuff. Can you walk us through like your like mindset and like about the game itself, like what your approach is to like deck building and technical play? Like how do you think that's developed over the years, and like some basics of like how you like understand the game, if you know what I mean?
Okay. So how I go about deck building is I pretty much like know what deck I'm gonna want to play when I enter a format, or when I'm just like, yeah, whenever I enter a format. So I pick that deck, and then usually I like to read over every card in the game like two or three times when I'm building my deck, so I can like pull out the important cards or cards I want to play, and I like to bounce my ideas off of a couple of other people, like Ben, my friend Gabe, like other people around my area. Um, so yeah, that's how I go about deck building. Um,
Have you actually read that many cards?
yeah, I've read every card in the game well over like a dozen times.
Wow.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time on this game.
Well, guys, if you want as many tops and wins as this guy, that's your first assignment, I guess. Go read every card in the game. Damn, that's really commendable dedication, for sure. Um, what about technical play and stuff? Like, how do you think that's developed over the years? What kind of like mistakes and stuff have you learned from when it comes to like playing out games like on the regular?
Playtesting a lot, either using DN. DN definitely helps with technical play, or just like playtesting with people in real life. You'll get technical play down just by playing a lot. Like, you're not gonna be good at something if you just don't practice. So it's just same concept works for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Do you practice a lot, or I mean, I know that sounds kind of stupid, but like some people literally like, I mean, we've heard so many times in deck profiles like, oh, I built this deck like 10 minutes before the event and stuff. Like, have you ever been in that situation, or are you always one of those people that you put in like full effort for events and
Well,
stuff?
for YCS Philly 2014, I was gonna play a plant deck, but then last minute my friend pulled 3 Angelis in a box, and he said you can just borrow them. So I ended up playing Madolches that I built like Saturday morning of the event. So I've been in that situation before.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask
But
about that, but we'll leave that to actually for the next section. One final point for this part. How's your like what have you learned over the years? Like, if you could go back and change some of your things that you did, for example, like the way you built decks or played. What are some like notable mistakes and advice that you could give for other players to not make the same mistakes that you did?
um, I guess if you want to like have the best chance at like topping slash winning every event you attend, you should not let like how much fun you have playing like a certain deck like get in the way of that. Because I've had like decks like the Synchro deck where I've had too much fun that I just want to play it at events and stuff. But I know there's a better deck I could be playing to give myself a better chance to win or top.
Hmm. And what about in terms of deck building? Has there been any like structures and strategies that you used in the past for building your decks that you think are just wrong and like bad that and you regret using them?
Oh yeah, I used to try and like net deck all the time because I wasn't good at deck building, but then I realized like nothing is as good as like a deck you've tested and you've prepared for an event. Is going off of other people's ideas is very hard for you to like play a deck correctly.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So, do you think net decking is a negative?
I think it's a negative for sure because you're not going to understand how to play the deck like how like the person that made the deck does, and like unless you're building with them or like you have like ample time to test, like if you're just picking up a deck for an event like the next day, it's just not worth it.
Mm. Okay, that's fair enough. Any other final like advices and tips you'd give for people when it comes to like preparing for an event, building a deck, playing the game?
Um,
What
nah,
are some like key points or whatever that you go by when it comes to like these things?
well, for events, I like to one get enough sleep,
Okay.
uh, and I usually like spend all Friday like doing final prep with people. Like, but turning in your deck list Friday is obviously the wrong choice because you get an extra day to work on your deck. You might change some stuff. But there's nothing really like big other than like the obvious stuff.
Mm. Okay, fair enough. Um, right. So, moving on to the next section. What have been some of your highs in the game? Which I mean, you kind of talked about like your wins and stuff, but what about some lows? Has there ever been any point in the game where you just got like super frustrated, or you had like a period in time where you just didn't talk for a long time? What are
Yes, I have a long period. Have had a long period of like not topping. So last year, before the 25K, there was like a year long like dry spell, just not topping. I would go. I think the final number was like 7 events last year where I started 5-0 and just didn't top. I would do that at every event. It was like a curse.
mm. And then, how did you feel? Like, were you like so frustrated that you were like, oh, I don't even want to play anymore? I'm assuming it never got that
Yeah,
bad, but like, oh, did it? Was it really that bad?
it was never to where I didn't want to play, but I lost a lot of motivation. I was just like, damn, I'm just gonna keep going 5-0 and not top, and it would just be in my head. Um, yeah, so I started playing like less, but still playing.
Hmm. How did you get over that? I'm assuming obviously
Um,
by topping, but
yeah,
um,
that's pretty much what did it. I topped the 25K, and then like I was like, damn, finally.
yeah. But do you think you did anything different there to your previous events? Like, did you really go for this one, or do you think it just
I
eventually came?
definitely tested for that event more than any event I've tested for. I think because I just like no life DN for like 3 weeks straight, like playing Necros nonstop and just mastering the deck.
Mhm. Well, that seems pretty basic. Practice makes perfect, so that's awesome. Um, moving on to like, I guess, I mean, have you had any drama and stuff in with the game? Ever gotten in fights and stuff? Some have you got any like interesting stories?
Um, no, no, nothing really. Like, I guess drama wise, like there are like people that have tried to like cheat me before, and I've had to like say something about it, and they end up getting banned. So they just got mad at me and made like a big deal out of it. But nothing besides that.
Relatively peaceful dude then. That's good. Um, so how do you feel about the game in general? Like, how has it affected your life? What's it done good for you? What's it done bad for you?
I think the game has been really great for my life. It's given me more of like a, um, it's given me like a social life actually, because I wasn't very like outgoing in, when I was in school and stuff, and I just didn't really like want to talk to many people. But when I'm at a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, it just feels so much different. I can just talk to anyone. Like, and this was even before like I was doing well like in Yu-Gi-Oh. It's just I could be like the worst player in the tournament and just talking to people and like it should be easy.
Yeah. Has it affected you negatively in any ways, like in your personal life?
Yes, it's a little bit distracting sometimes, but if you can control it, like it's not that bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Uh, One final drama related thing, I guess. You've been in PPG for a short time, but previously you were in other teams as well. Uh,
Yeah.
how's how'd that come about, and what's your take on it?
My take on like switching teams or
Sure, just whatever comes to mind.
um, I don't know. I've been on a lot of teams. I've been sponsored by a lot of people. It's not just like that was my first team coming here. It's just you kind of have to do what like is best for yourself, and it's obviously hard saying goodbye. But at the end of the day, it's just business.
Yeah. Um,
That's how I look at that.
That's fair enough. How do you find teams as a benefit to you? Do you think that it's something you'd recommend to people? And what do you think a team like does for you personally, like when it comes to your game?
I think having a team is good because you have people to talk with about like stuff. Even though like all my team like we don't all talk about our ideas together. Like we still have like small groups that do talk about the ideas, and it gives us like a I guess a basis to go off. Definitely just spilled my drink.
um, all right, cool. So teams and stuff, very good, awesome. Um, where do you see yourself for the future? Are you going to be playing for the foreseeable future? Do you have like major plans for different events and stuff you want to go to, or do you see yourself like quitting anytime soon?
I don't think I'll quit anytime soon. Definitely not. Yeah, but I can definitely see myself playing like a lot less than like I've played in the past. Like I used to play like every day, and I would just dedicate everything to this game. But and I plan on going to YCS in Minneapolis though.
Hmm. What's changed for you?
Just like when you get older, I guess you just need to focus on school and other stuff like working.
Yeah, fair enough. But obviously, no plans to like take breaks or whatever. You're pretty much gonna like attend most events, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. We're getting to the Q&A section. If people in the chat, feel free to like throw your questions out at Chris here, and he'll be able to answer anything you want. So I actually saw one at the start that I really liked. Where is it? Okay, I've lost it. But anyway, I've got my own basic questions here. I ask everyone. What's been your favorite deck in the time you've played,
Definitely Necros.
and why?
Um, I've never had such a passion for like playing a deck before, and I've spent like so much time like play testing and figuring out what the best way like to build a deck was. Like it just seems like it has to be my favorite deck because I put so much time and effort into it, and I've had my most accomplishments with that deck.
You played a lot of like strange versions and stuff. I remember you had like this hero thing going on with it and stuff.
Yeah, I had a hero version. Had the version with Brilliant Fusion and the clowns, and
Hmm.
just the clowns, and then like there's a version with like Wonder Wand. Like there's so many different versions.
Uh, any plans to come to Europe?
And maybe if I win an event, I'll go. That's been like, yeah, that's how Europe has been going for me. I said if I win an event, I'll go, but if not, then I don't think I can for now.
All right. How
But it's
did
possible.
how did you evolve your original Fusionist deck into hand loop? Is that something you're actually kind of
Um,
known for? Was the hand loop thing? You played that quite
yeah.
extensively.
So, um, I just realized how crazy Omega was, and I just spent like infinite hours into like playtesting with it, and I guess I don't really know like how I just like what gave me the hand loop idea, but I guess it's just a lot of like testing, and it just kept on getting better and better. And eventually, I just realized how to do it.
Noah's asking you how many effects does Slumber have?
Slumber. Yes, I didn't know that Slumber had a graveyard effect. That's why he's asking me that. um,
Um, let's see. Some trolley questions here. Right. What's your most favorite format?
hmm. That's a tough one. It's got to be one of the Necros formats.
Yeah. Did you play during
Yeah,
Dragon Ruler?
I did play during Dragon Rule, yes.
A lot of people either pick one or the other, and the trend just tends to be whatever one that they did well at. Clearly
Yeah,
not related.
yeah, no, I definitely did not do well in Dragon Rule format, but that's because I played Spellbooks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely the wrong deck.
Why did you play that?
Um, well, I didn't really do much testing in Dragon format, and I was like, all right, Spellbooks seem a lot easier to play. Just get some auto wins with Jowgen,
Mm,
and yeah, that was my mentality there.
yeah. Um, Mechanically, at the game, within the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, what do you think are some problems with Yu-Gi-Oh? What are some things you'd fix, and any ideas you'd have to make it better?
Um, I don't think there are any problems with the game. Um, I think Pendulum Summoning is kind of too broken, but I don't really know what they can do to fix that.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's nothing that would really change for the game. I like it how it is.
Do you have any ideas for cool things you'd love to see improved upon or made more of in the future?
Um, there's nothing I can think of at the top of my head.
Mm. What is your least favorite deck and format?
um, it's a tough one. I just love like every format, really.
Yeah.
um,
Was there no formats where you were just kind of like, oh fuck, I just like hate everything? I mean, people tend to complain about like this format or well, last format, and it's kind of like the recent like year or so. Everyone's kind of just like, ugh, I hate this shit.
yeah, no, I really enjoyed last format. Just like playing extra deck monarchs.
Mm.
It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I can think of something that I enjoyed like every format. So this
Yeah.
probably the worst one I guess like Inzector format. I didn't really have much fun playing Inzectors. That's why I played windups.
What was it that you didn't like about it?
Um, I just didn't like that all like everyone was playing the exact same deck, and it was whoever drew hand traps just won. But
Hmm.
like I guess that there've been other formats like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Cool. Fair enough. Don't see many other questions here. I guess. Is there anything that you want to talk about that you feel that you want to share with like community? Kind of like give advice for, or just kind of like speak your mind about anything?
Uh, well, I guess we could talk about like ARGs a little bit. Honest, like they're really good for the game.
Hmm.
And I think Europe has like a little series too, like something similar like CCGs, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think they're like very good for the game. It creates like, tournaments for like only well not only competitive players, but it attracts more like of the competitive scene, and it's a lot more different than a YCS because at YCSs you have a lot of like casual players that are going because like it's in their area or something. It's just I think ARG does a good job at like showing who the best players in the game are.
You've topped and won like both types. This was a question I asked Tobin as well, but what do you think is like kind of like easier to top? Because for example, ARGs have like a higher concentration of good players, but there's less people, whereas YCSs are like much bigger, but they have way more bad players as well.
Yeah, I think topping a YCS is a lot easier but only when ARGs doesn't have like buys or draws.
Hmm. Yeah, so I mean, you have a lot of experience. Like, you generally think like YCSs have been easier for you?
Yes. Well, compared to like the tournaments, like the 9 round ARGs where they don't do draws and buys, like the 20Ks and stuff, I think YCSs have been easier. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's cool. Um, I think I had some other question as well that really fuck, I've lost it. Probably wasn't important then. Anything else on your mind that you wanted to like bring to the table here?
Mm, not that I can really think of.
All right, you're a good man. You've kept this short and sweet. I appreciate that. Um, I guess that brings us to a close. For everyone who's like watching this live, I appreciate you guys for coming out. We're gonna have this on YouTube as well. I'll be uploading this not tonight or tomorrow. Actually, I've got Norman's History of the Yu-Gi-Oh player scheduled for tomorrow, so you'll see this Friday night on YouTube. In the meantime, make sure you check out Chris's team, Pro Play Games. I'll leave links and stuff in the description for Facebook, social media, YouTube, etc. I'd like to thank you so much for coming out and talking to people and just speaking your mind and letting us know a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Alright guys, this is it's going to be us, so thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you later.
See ya.
Face me.